Everyone thinks the Fenix 7X Pro is just an overbuilt adventure brick for ultrarunners, but here's the thing. In 2026, it's the most practical daily training watch I tested because it fixes 3 problems most premium wearables still fumble: harsh sun visibility, battery anxiety, and nighttime safety. I went in skeptical. I've been burned by specsheet hype before, but after 30 days, 200 plus km of running, 2 overnight hikes, pool sessions, and strength work, I found stuff that genuinely surprised me, both good and not so good. And yes, the flashlight isn't a gimmick. Stay with me. Before we dive into what I discovered, quick note: if you're already leaning yes and want today's best price, I've got a link below. But stick around, because what I uncovered about battery life, GPS accuracy, and that flashlight could change which model you pick. Here's why I even picked up the 7X Pro. I'm training for a mountainous 50K while juggling travel and a full workload. My last trio of watches kept missing the mark: an Apple Watch that tapped out halfway through backcountry days, a lightweight plastic racer that struggled in urban canyons, and an older Fenix that made map management a chore. I needed 3 things: dead reliable navigation, no compromise battery, and data that actually helps me train smarter, not just a stream of numbers. I was prepared to return the 7X Pro if it felt like a minor refresh wearing a giant price tag. Spoiler: parts of it blew past my expectations, and a couple of things still bug me. Testing: Scenario 1, battery and solar. Real world, not lab. Week 1, I ran 6 times, 2 multi-band GPS, 3 strength sessions, constant notifications, pulse ox-off overnight, flashlight used for 2 dog walks and a campsite setup. Result: 18 days before hitting 10%. On a 10-hour mountain day with Maps, Climb Pro, and multi-band GNSS with SatIQ, I burned through about 30%, which means I could stack a full weekend of long efforts without touching a charger. With regular sun exposure, the Pro Sapphire lens topped things off noticeably. You won't live off sunlight alone, but it consistently slowed the drop. But then I pushed it. Back-to-back long runs with music over Bluetooth and the flashlight for night miles. That combination will chew battery faster, but it still outlasted any AMOLED adventure watch I've worn. Scenario 2. GPS and heart rate accuracy. I ran a downtown route under glass and steel where watches traditionally cry uncle. With multiband on, the 7X Pro kept me within a lane or two, no teleporting across rivers. Trail runs under heavy tree cover mapped nearly identical to my reference file from a dedicated handheld GPS unit. HR-wise, the new Gen 5 sensor was within 2-3 BPM of a chest strap on steady efforts, and about 5-7 BPM off on spiky intervals typical for optical. In the pool, lengths and strokes were on point, but then on a cold, windy tempo, the wrist HR lagged early. Solution: snug the strap 1 hole tighter or pair a strap for speed work. Scenario 3, maps and navigation. Preloaded Topo Active Maps offline, no phone needed. I built a course on the watch, added up ahead points for water and trail junctions, and let ClimbPro cue me for ascents. The screen isn't flashy, but it's readable in brutal sun, and panning zooming is faster than my older Fenix. The route recalculation was sensible when I intentionally went off-trail, but then I tried a dense single-track network. Turn-by-turn still works, yet you'll want to pre-check your route on a bigger screen. Storage is generous for continents worth of maps plus music from Spotify/Amazon Music/Deezer offline, which I used on flights and long runs. Scenario 4, the flashlight. I thought I'd use it once and forget it. Wrong. Night trailhead packing, campsite cooking, pre-dawn stairs, finding keys, quick safety strobe on road shoulders, it's just useful. The red light kept night vision intact. At full power, it's bright enough to jog with in a pinch. I ran a neighborhood 5K with it as my only light to test. Battery impact was minor unless left on high for a long stretch. But then reality: it won't replace a headlamp for true night trail running. It's a powerful backup, not your primary beam. Here's where it gets interesting. The biggest surprise wasn't the maps or the battery. It was how the training features matured. Hill score finally matched how my legs felt on climbs, trending from 680 to 712 over 3 weeks as vert increased. Endurance score tracked cumulative load without punishing me for low-intensity volume. Training readiness used HRV, sleep, and recovery in a way that stopped me from nuking workouts after red-eye flights. And SatIQ's auto-switching made accuracy versus battery a non-decision. It quietly chose the right mode. I put in the time because price vs value matters. Compared to the Epix Pro 51, I missed the AMOLED wow indoors, but outdoors the transflective display was clearer and used far less power, so I left always-on enabled without flinching. Versus the Forerunner 965, the 7X Pro felt more bomb-proof, the flashlight mattered, and maps were more seamless. The 965 is lighter and cheaper, though, and plenty for road athletes. Against the Apple Watch Ultra 2, the smart features and app ecosystem are class-leading, but for multi-day mountain trips and true offline mapping, I trust the Fenix. Too good to be true? Not exactly. The trade-offs are real. This is a big, heavy watch around the 51 mark, and the display isn't showroom pretty. Garmin Pay still has patchy bank support in some regions, and the interface is feature-rich enough to overwhelm day one. But once dialed, it's a workhorse. Now that you know the flashlight and battery aren't hype and the training metrics actually help, the next step is simple. Choose the right configuration before popular colorways cycle out or discounts vanish. I've linked the best current price and compatible bands and chargers below so you can set it up right the first time. Bottom line, is the Fenix 7X Pro worth the investment in 2026? If you're an ultra-runner, hiker, or anyone who wants reliable maps, multi-day battery, and a built-in safety light, yes, emphatically. If you mostly want an everyday smartwatch experience with a gorgeous screen, look at Epix Pro or Apple Watch Ultra. Smaller wrists or minimalists, consider the 7 Pro Non-X or Forerunner 965. Already on a Fenix 7 or 7X, upgrade if you want the flashlight, the newer heart rate sensor, and the hill endurance tools. Otherwise, you're still in a good place. Bottom line, this isn't just a bigger watch, it's fewer compromises, fewer chargers, and fewer excuses to skip the long day.